Hey y'all, welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to a clip of former President Obama having a conversation. And in that conversation, he says, and I quote, "Imagine if I had done any of this." This clip is on CNN Newsnight with Abby Phillip. Let's see what happens.
He's 1,000% right, but I'm not sure that it matters. What I want to hear from prominent leaders on the left is vision, vision, vision. What vision do you have for the American people who have entrusted you as their power brokers? I get it. It's unfair. It's not right. There's a double standard. All of that is true. How are we going to get out of this? Vision, vision, vision. And I think if there's one thing that the left, or the Democrats more specifically, are failing at right now, it's not about diagnosing the problem. It's not about looking into the hole.
Solutions.
It's about getting shovels to put the dirt back in and tell people how they're going to be able to sleep soundly on that turf. So while I agree with the former president, I agree with President Obama, I just want to hear the Democrats give us the diagnosis for how this is supposed to go.
I could freaking curse and cry right now. I have been saying this, and so many people have been like filleting me, frying me up like chicken. Okay, first of all, shout out to Van. I love watching his career evolve. This man used to be on TMZ, and now he's like doing all types of political commentary. I love that. He also reminds me a lot of Virgil, the designer of Off-White, and then he went on to be the creative director at Louis Vuitton Men, and then he unfortunately passed away from cancer, but he reminds me so much of him. I agree wholeheartedly, and I love the opening of this clip was, I think President Obama is right, but I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter. It's not about right or wrong anymore. It's about fixing, getting in and fixing. Solutions. I cannot stand. One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone comes to me, and all they want to do is complain. It's like, okay, but where have you even thought of a solution? Do not call me to just simply complain. I am a action girl. Action. I will take action. I'm not ever going to come to something and not have at least a thought of an action. It might not be the right answer, but at least I came with some type of plan. And I just think the Democrats, in order to get back in the good graces of the people, this is supposed to be the people's party. In order for that to happen, they've got to come with something instead of just complaining and pointing the finger and wah, and yes, calling out what may be true, but what are y'all doing to fix it? What are we doing I am over the moon at the way that this man just articulated how I've been feeling, and the way that so many people have been making me feel like, what are you talking about? I say this all the time. I'm going to say it again. I am not MAGA. I am not left. I am not right. I don't desire to be any of those things. I am praying and hoping just for the goodness to come back in our country, just goodness on all sides, and that we can stop being so divisive and so polarizing and having to be right in our opinions and our stances, and just want what is best for all of us. It just it's crazy to me how I've become so passionate about this, because at the beginning of the change of this content that I did, I was like, I don't watch the news. I'm not a political girl. And I'm just an American citizen who has children. I have a husband. I pay taxes. I work really hard. I have several businesses. My husband works really hard. And I just want to see us and our neighbors and our friends and our community and our parents thrive. And that's not going to happen in a broken, divided country. It's not going to happen when our representatives are not representing ourselves. They're representing their pockets and how they can line them. Lord Jesus, let me step up off this soapbox. Okay,
I just want to hear the Democrats give us the diagnosis for how this is supposed to go.
But what is the vision? I think that's what the problem is. I don't think there's an agreement on what the vision should be for the Democratic Party. I think some people
there's no
think it should be
unification
here to the left, and some people think the party needs to come back to the center.
That's how it's always been for both parties. I mean, the Republican Party has the same civil war, and it's going to get a lot tighter right now. We're still living in the Bernie fan, Hillary fan civil war. But for all the Democratic Party low poll numbers, their positions are consistently more popular than the Republican Party. Women's reproductive.
I disagree. I think that, yes, I do think the Republicans are going through the same thing, but they are like when your parents argue after you go to sleep. They go at it. You know, they don't do it in front of you. I feel like the Democrats are doing it in front of the kids, and the Republicans wait till the kids go to sleep, and they just like grin and bear it during the day when the kids is like, just get it done, and then the kids go to sleep. And they're like, I hate you. It's like they are still presenting a united front as far as passing laws and bills and how they show up on things and just trying to keep the party together. And I feel like the Democrats are just so unsure. They can't find common ground. Like, there are so many different opinions. And it's just like, Mom, Dad, stop fighting in front of the kids. Please.
Party low poll numbers, their positions are consistently more popular than the Republican Party. Women's reproductive rights, paid family leave, taxing billionaires, Medicare covering vision, hearing, and dental, decriminalizing cannabis, gun safety legislation. On issue after issue, the majority of Americans agree with the Democratic Party platform. So shame on them if they can't sell it.
Democrats at 21%, a historic
Well,
low?
again, Republicans
how
aren't
is
that
that?
high either.
Because Van is right. Because Van, I think, pointed out very articulately that the
It was so
Democratic Party
beautiful how
doesn't
he
have
said it.
any vehicle, meaning a person, to convey their message in any fundamentally positive, uplifting, and hopeful way. Look, I didn't like President Obama. Not a fan. Right? But he was an excellent conveyor of the message of the Democratic Party that people wanted to hear and saw it in 2007 and 2008. There is no one. And I mean, look, Cory Booker got so much credit for just giving a filibuster. He won an award for speaking the most, right? That is the low bar which the Democratic Party is standing right now.
But can I tell you something, though? That actually cut through. And the reason why it cut through, I was surprised that it cut through, too.
Because somebody was doing something.
It like cut through because they saw somebody willing
standing up and doing
put it
something.
They want to.
I want to highlight this video because it genuinely is how I feel. It's like, I agree. I saw the Cory Booker filibuster, and I saw it, and you can laugh at it, say whatever you want, but at least somebody took a stand and did something. At least somebody took a stand and did something. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So at least, and I think it made some waves. Maybe it's going to do nothing in the long run. I don't know. But it was refreshing to see somebody get up and not spew hate or not call names or not stoop down to petty levels and just say, okay, I'm just going to stand here and I'm going to give this speech for 40 days and 40 nights. I agree.
Because they saw somebody willing to put it on the line for them.
They want to fight her.
He stood up there and he didn't go to the bathroom for 25 hours. He made himself uncomfortable.
We are witnessing so many business leaders and people on the capitulation weasel train bowing down to a man they despise. People on my SiriusXM show call in every night hungry for someone to be a leader in the Democratic Party or in the movement. And I keep having to remember that this is not how it works. It's great that Barack Obama gave a speech. Jimmy Carter would have done 10 protests and a hunger strike by now. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the people who lead, and eventually a Democrat will sign a law and take credit for it.
I'll play a little bit more from Obama because he kind of touches on that. Listen.
Easy during most of our lifetimes to say you are progressive or say you are for social justice or say you're for free speech and not have to pay a price for it. And now we're at one of those moments where, you know what, it's not enough just to say you're for something. You may actually have to do something and possibly sacrifice a little bit.
Action.
Yeah, I mean, it's to your point, but I think it's a couple things for Obama and for the Democrats. One, there a lot of performativeness over the last few years probably needs to go by the wayside. But the other thing is that you listed a bunch of issues that are very popular, but Democrats also ignored the other things that are very important to Americans, like the cost of living and physical safety.
You think the Biden administration ignored the cost of living for working class people?
Yeah.
I
I love that, like, deep breath of silence and then everyone kind of being like collectively, yeah. Sorry, I just thought that was great. That was a great TV moment.
Cost of living for working class people?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the
mean,
voters.
that's what the voters
feel
say.
that too. I mean, every
Yeah.
poll
The numbers
imaginable.
show that.
The voters
The
say
numbers
that.
show
The
that.
voters voted for Trump.
Well, let me. Okay, well,
the
let me.
stimulus, the
if
student
you-
loans,
Here's what I would say.
capital insulin?
Here's what I would say
Yeah.
is the argument that you could make about the Biden administration not understanding the catastrophic effect that inflation would have on the psyche of Americans was that A, they denied that inflation was an issue for a very long time, and B, rather than crafting an economic message, a lot of times they just didn't want to talk about it.
I think that they
and I think
denied
that's
that-
an issue.
I think that they denied that.
I think that they didn't. If they had an economic message, I think that would have broken through.
Well,
But it didn't.
I think that they denied that inflation was an issue specific to America.
Thank you.
Meaning that inflation here was something very insidious that wasn't happening
and I get
post-COVID
that,
to the rest of the
but
world.
As we were talking earlier in the show about these economic arguments that go over people's heads, they don't care what's going on in the rest of the world.
The
They
reality
want
is,
to
but
know,
you know what? I'm
they
sorry.
want
They
to
wanna know
know
what's going
how
on
much
right here
food
at
costs,
home.
why their housing is so expensive, and do they feel safe in their
Absolutely,
homes?
But the reality is that the U.S. has lower post-COVID inflation than all of our G7
I
allies,
get
and the
that.
Biden
But
White
that's
House
the-
wasn't
that's the
able to
attitude
sell that
that-
reality.
He's 1,000% right, but I'm not sure that it matters.
It's one, yeah, that I think that is just right. We're all chasing being right or wrong, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's getting us, look at us. It's getting us nowhere. To the point of the title of this video, which they didn't touch on, but Obama saying about Trump, imagine if I had done any of this. I'm just going to leave that right there. I know y'all are going to have a field day in the comments. So many people like to say, yeah, but the Dems, whenever we're talking about Elon or Trump. And it's like, yeah, but the Dems. And it's like, we're always pointing the finger. No administration is going to get it right 100%. There's not a single administration that ever got it right 100%. I don't think that's what people are looking for. I just think people want to feel seen, heard, cared for, and protected by their government. From the rooter to the tutor, the top to the bottom, left, right, up, down, red, white, and blue. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am so interested and can't wait to read your comments. As always, keep it cute or put it on mute, and all opinions are welcome. Please, I welcome every. The opinion is on a spectrum. Like, I don't care what side you're on. Just keep it kind. There's no need for name calling. There's no need for mudslinging. There's no need for any of that stuff. We can have kind conversation. And that's what I hope happens in the comments. I'll see you there. Go and have the day you deserve. Bye.